Welcome back. We have gone to the second and distinguished, just like the other guest. We have Samir Abu-Rumman. He's a doctor and a supervisor of Gulf Opinion Center for Poll Research Consultant at IICO. He worked in Kuwait, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, United States, and Egypt, and he has more books regarding this matter. Dr. Abu-Rumman, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. It's my pleasure as well.
Sir, can you give us an overview look about the waste food in the whole world? People waste food more than they consume it. I don't know what's going on. Probably this is ignorance from the people themselves. What do you think?
Yeah, actually, first of all, thank you for having me in your wonderful program.
Our pleasure.
I think wasting food around the world is one of the biggest challenges that we're facing all humanities. A lot of people don't know that we have a number that unbelievable that we are wasting 1/3 of the food that is produced around the world.
That's a shame.
For example,
people that are dying of lack of food nutrition, and we are throwing it away, not to mention in Ramadan. People, they do this every year, and people are trying to tell them not to do so. Just cook exactly what you need to eat. What do you think?
Yeah, well, if we want to go to Ramadan, one of the things that I say, it's fortunately, or maybe unfortunately, that we still didn't have those international numbers that are produced by global big organizations like the FAO, the FAO, talking about how much we waste in Ramadan. Because most international reports are talking about globally on the whole year. So, for example, they are saying that Saudi Arabia throw in 13.3 billion tons yearly, United Arab Emirates 4 million tons. In the United States, I have to write numbers sometimes.
Please, go ahead.
In Europe, we have 90 billion tons wasted yearly. In the United States, 60 billion. All around the world, we have
tons of food.
1 trillion million that is wasted.
Of food.
Food. Yeah, and when we talk about those international reports or numbers, we put together wasted and lost, to be honest. So it's not just all of it is wasted. Some of it is lost. For example, when wasted is you just put it in the plate, in the meal, then you throw it. Lost is lost because of storage, lost before you come to before it comes to the household. So this is the difference. So those numbers are total for both numbers. In Ramadan, that's what I said, unfortunately, because we don't have this international organization measuring this. But we have a couple of studies around the world, in Malaysia, in Bahrain, in Saudi Arabia, talking that the wasted percentage is from 15 to 25% more in the usual months. As a matter of fact, I wrote an article, which is a little bit funny in its name. I say, don't prepare for Ramadan. Don't prepare. Yeah. And my idea was, is I love planning, but when I all the time saying before Ramadan, we have plenty of food, we already have meat from Australia, we already have, that makes me get upset because we're giving a lot of planning that we are going to be starving in Ramadan. So at the same time, this is the numbers that I'm telling you all are different areas in the Islamic wars that they're saying that we're wasting more food in Ramadan. This is a bad habit against religion, against logic, that you're eating 2 meals a day instead of 3, and you're wasting more. So this is, I know we're in a holy month. We should remember the poor.
Because people are paranoid. They think that they might get starved during the day. So they need to store more food at night, enable for them to continue fasting during the day. And this is wrong. Why? Because you will never, ever compensate for food. Anytime you eat it, you're going to waste it right away. And probably it's going to stick in your body as a fat, and you become fatter in Ramadan. But doctor, we would love from you to concentrate in the state of Kuwait. What about the food waste here in Kuwait?
Yeah, this is a good question. And
Real bad.
Well, all numbers, let me tell you something. All numbers in wealthy countries and developed countries and industrial countries regarding wasting food is higher than low-income countries.
No.
And I think this is something logic. I mean, rich people, when you have money, you will buy more just to storage to make yourself just happy, to not to bother having something missing. In numbers in Kuwait, we have 1 million ton wasted yearly of food. We have an average per for one individual is 400 kilogram yearly wasted.
100.
Yes, yearly. So that will be around 1 point something
Imagine
kilo.
imagine if you distribute these waste food on the people who are trying to feed themselves. You would never find any starvation, hunger, or nobody might die lack of food.
This is what you're talking is one of the awareness that we always telling people what you said in a great way, an idea. Just remember, what can you do with this wasted food? In the other hand, we have a lot of disadvantages for wasting food. It's not just the time of the farmer did, the money, the cost of transferring the food to your house. We have also a cost for your waste of the waste.
That's correct.
And I have a number that according to in Kuwait is 166 million yearly cost to get rid of this waste. Around the world we have a lot.
You're not
of
only wasting the food, you're wasting money.
Yes.
By wasting the food.
Yes.
And get rid of it.
Yes. Yeah. So
That's
this is
pitiful.
something.
That's pitiful, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is the bad. So when people talking about wasting food, please don't say that I just throw one diner off a 3-diner meal. No. You did not respect the farmer. You did not respect your beliefs in Ramadan. You did not respect the people who bought this, the people who packed it, the companies who made it. So you're spoiling all this. So I got funny. I was laughing a couple of months. I was seeing this lecture in TED show. It's called The Scandal of Wasting Food. What he meant, the lecturer, he's saying that it's a scandal because it's not just the third percent of the 30% of the food that is wasted. It's the scandal is we have a lot of huge loss in humanity for people. You mentioned about hunger. You know that according to one of the best and latest international reports, which is published by 5 big international organizations like the FAO I mentioned, they're saying that we have about 8 to 1 million people are hungry people around the world. So we have around like 1/7 of the humanity are hungry people. So this is a bad, really disadvantages of those wasting food.
Dr. Abu-Rumman, I believe that you've been doing this lecturing people and trying to advise people not to waste their food because a lot of people are looking for the food, probably for more than 10 years. The question is, how come the people that you are lecturing, they are not responding to you? Why they keep throwing food, not to mention in Ramadan, all year long? Why they're not responding to you? What's going on? Because we have a technical problem here. Either you are not delivering the message properly, or probably they are listening to you and they say, well, he doesn't know what exactly he's talking about. What do you think?
Yeah, well, this is a good question. I know that sometimes you cannot succeed 100%, but you're trying to make some effect or impact to reduce of this wasting numbers. I listed a couple of initiatives around the world, a couple of ideas that can be used. Because awareness is one of the techniques to reduce food. Awareness of what I said just before. But the other thing is to have some unique initiatives. For example, restaurants or restaurants in hotels. So one of those invented this kind of idea or program to weigh every day what kind of wasted food, vegetable, how much, cans, how much, liquids, how much. Then at the end, he will say the hotel administration will have a number. What are we most in our restaurants while making the food? So we're trying. Then he will reduce, like for example, if the results say that vegetables and fruits, so he will try to make the foods and vegetable less used in some cooking procedures or else. So what I'm trying to say is awareness is one of those techniques. We should have other things. We have food banks, for example. We have those different techniques in making, like, for example, some habits. Don't make it like an open meals to eat whatever you want. Try to make some techniques that just take whatever you want, but in the same at the amount
you know,
you
this
want.
is what they have, like a big sign in the buffet of restaurants back in the United States.
Yeah.
They say this is all you can eat a buffet, but please eat as much as you can, but responsibly.
Yeah.
Do not take over the size of your stomach.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah. You know what?
Because they know people, no matter how much you put on the plate, you're not going to finish it all.
You're right. Yeah. One other thing.
That's why they say the eye, the appetizer of the eye is bigger than the stomach itself.
Yes. Yeah. Other thing that, according to what you mentioned or related to what you mentioned, is try to do some behaving, to change the behaving. One of the conferences we attend usually in the United States called Arnova Conference. When you register for the conference, you choose the meal. And it's a simple meal. So you say seafood, even halal food, whatever.
Okay.
They have all those choices. And at the last day of the conference, people usually leave the conference, half of them, or, it's just something unstable in participation. So what they do is they do package of sandwiches of some food that is cannot be wasted quickly. It can be transferable with you and take it with your bag, and that's it. So this is a good thing that we can all get, and other ideas. If we have time, we can also talk about it, because I listed a lot.
Dr. Samir Abu-Rumman, you made a study in Saudi Arabia about waste in food, and it's all about the baseline study to understand waste in food in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
Does it apply in Kuwait or not?
This is a good question. I actually just participated in launching the study.
Okay.
And some of my friends are there because I wrote a couple of articles regarding this. So I got familiar with this baseline. The idea is, if you cannot measure it, you cannot understand it. So Saudi Arabia did a great thing in a couple of months ago, that they launched this survey to know how much we waste in each kind of food, and not only just in general, so they can know it. And we call it a research, we call it baseline, because when you have this baseline, you can do it waively, annually, and then you can compare the results, and where were you, and where are you now, and where will you be in waste and food. In Kuwait, we had a couple of meetings with Central Bureau of Statistics in Kuwait, Ramadan, and other teams, NGOs and the Food Bank, to try to understand exactly what's going on in waste and food, to try to have like a baseline, accurate baseline, professional numbers, more than just what I said, to go specifically where it's going. And we have in Kuwait here as well, with the statistics as well, we have this, we call it spending annually.
Dr. Sam, honestly, this is a final question, because this is a very, very vital situation we are living in Ramadan, because people kind of, they have more appetite during the day when it comes after Salat, the prayer of Al-Maghrib. People are trying to eat, and believe me, after the second bite, they feel full. Why? Because the stomachs are shrinking after 3-4 days, and it does not absorb all the food that you cook. What is your advice you would love to give to the public during the month of Ramadan and after the month of Ramadan about wasting food?
Yeah, well, I will concentrate on on ideas and convincing people to remember different things, to remember that this amount of food is coming to you, and there are millions of people around the world who did not have the chance and the opportunity to have this kind of various kind of different foods, delicious foods, in this holy month. So you have to remember this. And in our Islamic saying that if you thank Allah for the what you have, it will be increased more and more. So to remember this saying, to remember the hunger people, the people who are starving, try to be smart in buying. Don't let I don't want the big companies to get mad at us. Don't let them, those promotion in marketing let influence you and impacting you badly regarding this. So this is to be all the way in our minds and trying to behave well in spending on food and other things as well, especially in Ramadan, which is a sample to remember poor and hunger, not to waste.
Not only that, Ramadan is the month of worship.
Yeah.
Worship God, not to eat all night long. That's pitiful because people, they are trying not to listen to the wisdom of Dr. Samir Abu-Rumman. Thank you so much, Dr. Samir Abu-Rumman. Looking forward to meet you once again.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I'd like to thank Dr. Samir Abu-Rumman. He is a supervisor of Gulf Opinion Center for Polls Research Consultant at IICO. Well, you heard it from the expert. The first guest was here, and she was talking about the nutrition and people trying to eat anything. And the others, the merchant trying to sell anything, although it might be under or expired. So we tackled that, and we were talking to Dr. Samir Abu-Rumman about the people are wasting too much food in the state of Kuwait and around the world, and we shouldn't do that because people are dying because of lack of food.